Hey gaming fans, so today's another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile, and this one is Skull Servant Equip. I call it that because it's based off of Skull Servant and a bunch of equips that you get to take advantage of. Anyways, I'll get to the deck. So naturally we're going to have the 3 Skull Servants. You kind of need them in the deck, but there is an equip card we're going to use with them just to boost his attack. King of the Skull Servants. The main reason to play this deck, he basically gets 1,000 attack for every Skull Servant in the graveyard, and most of your monsters in this deck count as Skull Servants when they're in the graveyard. So pretty easy concept. This guy gets really huge. It's nice that he's a level 1, and there are ways to recur him. And we got 3 white prints. So this guy, if this card's sent to the graveyard, you could send 1 Skull Servant and 1 Lady in the White from your hand or deck to the graveyard and banish 2, or then you could banish 2 Skull Servants and this card from the graveyard to special summon 1 King of the Skull Servants. So there's a lot of great effects going on here, gets them into the graveyard and can reoccur your King of the Skull Servant. I got 1 white baking. This card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. If a level 3 or lower zombie monster you control would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 2 monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, except white baking, that are either Skull Servant or mention it. Then discard 1 card. So, really cool card. I only have 1, so I added 1 in the deck. 3, the Lady in White. Part of the other person's effect to be able to send her to the graveyard. Beefy defense, 2200. And face up level 3 or lower zombie monsters you control, except for Lady in White, cannot be destroyed by battle, and is unaffected by the effects of spell and trap cards. So that's a neat little effect there. And the last of the Skull Servants, we have White Princess. This card's name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send 1 White Prince from your deck to graveyard. During either player's turn, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. All monsters currently on the field lose attack and defense equal to their own level/rank times 300. So it's got a little bit of a power boost, or power of, well, not really a boost, but decreasing, and sends the White Prince to the graveyard, which is cool because then you get off its effect of when it's sent to the graveyard, you could send 1 Skull Servant and 1 Lady in the White. So you really get all these cards into the graveyard really fast by their own effects. Then we got 2 Uni-Zombies. 2 reasons why he's in here. 1, he sends zombies to the graveyard, and 2, he's a tuner, so we can use some synchro summoning in this deck. I threw in 2 Mizukis. Why not? I mean, once he's in the graveyard, you get to special summon any one of your zombies to the field. Doesn't hurt to throw him in there. And a little old school monster, Zombie Master. I threw 2 in here. Once per turn, you can send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard to special summon 1 level 4 or lower zombie monster from either player's graveyard. So this is a cool card because it literally just monster reborns any of your zombies. And if you pitch Mizuki, you can get 2 monsters. Now for the spells, 1 for 1, because a lot of your power hitters are level 1 in this deck, so that's a no-brainer. For the equipped spells that I was talking about, we have 1 Phalanx Pike. The equipped monster gains 900 attack for each card in either graveyard that has the same name as it does. So obviously you're going to have Skull Servants, so this card plus any Skull Servant has to be the original guy with Skull Servant in his name. He becomes huge. So he's kind of like he turns himself into the King of the Skull Servants in a way, where he gets 900 attack for each Skull Servant in the graveyard, which could be a lot. For the other equipped spell, we have Symbol of Heritage. You can only activate this card while there are 3 monsters with the same name in your graveyard. Not hard to do in this deck. Select one of those monsters, special summon it to your side of the field. If this card is destroyed, destroy the equipped monster. So it's kind of like your Monster Reborn. Same idea. Big Bang Shot. This basically gives you a 400 attack boost and piercing. So pretty good if your opponent tries to keep all their monsters in defense mode. Goat tokens, whatever, you can just run right through them. Also, you have another neat trick that you could do with it, but I'll get to that later. Snatch Steal, because it's Snatch Steal, why not want to steal anybody's monster? Now the rest of the cards here are to support the equip spells. So we got 3 hidden armories. And what's good about this card is it sends the top card of your deck to the graveyard, and that's what you want to do in this deck, is send as many of these monsters to the graveyard. Then you can grab one of your equip cards that you need to use at that moment, and it can be either from your deck or your graveyard. So you can grab back your Snatch Steel, your Phalanx Pike, whatever, even the Reborn card. And then for the last one of the spells, we have Swords at Dawn. Sort of the same idea. You target an equip spell in your graveyard, and one appropriate monster on the field, equip this card to that monster, and then you destroy it at the end turn. Destroy the card at the end turn. Cool thing is you can grab things like Symbol of Heritage in a pinch on your turn if you want. You can reborn a monster. You can grab your Snatch Steel back. You can grab your Phalanx Pike. You could grab your Big Bang Shot. Which is cool about the Big Bang Shot is that if you equip it to your opponent's monster, then this card gets destroyed and the monster gets banished. So, pretty cool. For traps, I decided to go with the Paleozoics. So we got the Canadia. Target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position, and then when a trap is activated, you get to special summon it from the grave. So, you know, it's good if it's in the graveyard. You get to bring it back. 3 of the Deinonychus, because this just banishes any face-up card on the field, and it discards a card, so it gets any of your Skull Servants in your hand into the graveyard. So really good effect. And then the last trap, we have 3 Needlebug Nests. So this one you can hold on to it till you get one of these in the graveyard. Activate your Needlebug Nest. Send the top 5 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So you can end up sending these guys to the graveyard and any of your Skull Servants. Neat little trick could be if your King of the Skull Servants is only, say, at 2,000 attack, maybe your opponent might try and attack into it. Activate your Needlebug Nest. Maybe you'll pitch 2-3 Skull Servants, and all of a sudden he's at like 5,000. So really funny effect if you could pull it off. Obviously, you can't guarantee what you're going to mill, but it's still fun to try. And on to the extra deck. I just tried to find cards that would work well with this deck, you know, like Link Karibo, summon one of your level 1 monsters and just send them to the graveyard right away. Same with this guy, you know, one of your normal summon monsters. Nightmare Unicorn, I just threw 2 in there. Borolo, just in case. And because you can go into synchro summoning in this deck, I tried to find various levels. So we got a level 4. He's pretty good. Can't be destroyed by a card effect. When this card is destroyed by a card effect sent to the graveyard, you can target one level 4 or lower monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So then you can grab your Skull Servant, which is neat. Your King of the Skull Servant, I should say. Magical Android, which is level 5. Cataster. Hyper Librarian, get a card draw. Bryonic, bounce anything off the field. Power Tool Dragon, because, you know, if you could pull it out early enough, you might have the at least 3 equips in your deck that you can grab one of anyway. The 2 Black Rose Dragons, Black Rose Moonlight Dragon and Black Rose Dragon, and a Stardust Spark Dragon. I just threw in a bunch of random stuff. You can play around with the extra deck, but that's the deck for now. Let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. Hope you subscribe. We'll talk to you later.